You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is it doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. Feel it, you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup exploring over 60 years of the Doctor Who universe. Hold on tight, you never know where the crew of the TARDIS is going next.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Pensacon! We are the Earth Station Who podcast. Podcast panel. And we're talking this today. We are doing Doctor Who in 2026. Is it time to, is it time to continue the way it is? Are we here to retire the show, or are we here to reinvent the show?
So Doctor Who, what the hell is the BBC doing?
Exactly.
Oh, even they don't know.
Yeah,
They're doing what they've always done, making it up as they go along.
Well, and that's the cool thing with a show that's been on for, 63 years now, almost.
Yeah.
And,
it's old.
It's old, but the great thing with Doctor Who is they've always reinvented themselves. And we're going to talk about that today. And the way we do our show, our panels, is we make it more of a conversation with you guys. So it's more interactive. So we'll talk. And I want to hear what you guys are thinking with Doctor Who also. We're just not going to hear us talk, go blah, 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 type thing.
Yeah,
and
it would not be exciting.
It wouldn't be exciting. And in all truth, there's a person under that costume.
Oh my God! It's a person!
So the thing is, none of us here are official BBC people. None of us are
So
work
we can
for
talk about whatever we want.
Exactly. So, we know as much as everybody else does. And there's been so many rumors around.
Yeah.
But before we get started in talking, let me introduce my crew with me today. Of course, my lovely co-host, Mary Ogle.
Hi, everybody!
Hi. And we have one of our listeners who's also now a patron of the ESO Network. Let's say hi to Peter.
Hi, Peter!
And for those listeners at home and everybody who's actually listened to the podcast, Peter writes in pretty much weekly about...
Yeah, I think I got tired of that, so that's why I'm here now.
We love actually getting email. It's one of the
you don't
best
get to
things.
stop.
No,
you have to keep doing it.
Okay.
That's part of the prerequisite about being up here and everything. So, and my name is Mike Faber. I'm the host of the show. We've been doing Earth Station Who now for almost 14 years.
Oh my God.
And in April it'll be 14 years. God, I'm dating myself. And we love Doctor Who and we're huge fans. We'll go a little bit. Has anyone watched the last season of Doctor Who? Is everyone all up to date?
I haven't seen it, but I am aware of what happened at the end.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Okay, because we're going to talk a little bit about the last season of Doctor Who and
Spoilers?
we're going to spoil some things because what you saw at the end of the last season of Doctor Who wasn't originally what you were supposed to see.
Yeah.
And, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Talk about it. I wanted that ending.
That ending would have been so much
We were supposed to get Susan.
Yes, we were.
Yes, we were supposed to get Susan. It was all planned out.
We were supposed to get Susan. You were not supposed to have a regeneration.
Yes, you were not supposed to have a regeneration. Shooty was supposed to have another season, but Shooty decided that he was going to leave early. This is not any shade against Shooty, who I thought was an amazing doctor.
Yeah.
But yes, it meant that, hang on just a second, it meant that Russell had to quickly reformulate things, and perhaps not in the most coherent manner, shall we say.
Right.
Yeah, that last episode was obviously thrown together. It was confusing,
Yeah.
It was.
I didn't understand it at all.
Just regarding the circumstances of Shudi's, departure from what I'm not saying this, as saying, oh, it's this person's fault or or anybody's fault, but my understanding is that apparently from what I heard, that someone was a little bit apparently slow getting a contract, and he got tired of waiting. And also, it was like the role's apparently, as we all know, a very demanding one.
It is a demanding role.
And it's true, there was uncertainty about when the next season was going to be shot. And he's a working actor, and a working in demand actor. He couldn't just sit around waiting for his next part. So I don't. This is not Shudi's fault. I do not blame Shudi.
It isn't Shudi's fault per se, mostly, but a lot of folks said they felt like he wasn't committed to the role.
Oh, I don't believe that.
You can see that you can tell like every scene he was in.
I don't believe that.
It's interesting too, but people were saying he's a young actor. He has a lot of roles being thrown at him, and like Mary said, he couldn't just wait around till. And if you want to point fingers at Disney.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they had committed to him, he would have committed to them.
Exactly.
But they did not.
Exactly.
And so he moved on, and you can't really blame him.
I don't think he was committed to the storyline, not the show. But I think the storyline was going nowhere, and I think that's why he left too. So
no, that's a good possibility, and it's just interesting because 6 months before the final even ended, he was on, I think, the Graham Norton show, and he was like, "Oh, we're getting ready to shoot season 3. The script's all written."
Well, clearly something changed. Something changed fast.
Yes.
Yeah, I think what changed was the production was held up because of Disney and other factors, but financial.
It was all financial
reasons were slowing things down. And he couldn't wait around.
Exactly.
So you got to eat too.
So they had actually filmed the scene, the original ending to the episode. You might have seen pictures of basically Shudi and his companions at a disco, like at a party celebrating, and that was supposed to be the original ending. Yeah. And then they would pan back, and you would have seen Susan looking down at the party with Poppy with her.
Yeah, Poppy was not supposed to end up with Belinda. She was supposed to end up with Susan.
Yeah. And
obviously did not happen.
It felt kind of weak in the way they rewrote it.
It was very weak.
Because Shudi then announced, because he was not getting any commitment from BBC, from Disney, from Bad Wolf, from Russell T Davies, so he decided that I'm leaving the show. I've got other projects, I've got movies I'm filming, and I've got commercials that I'm being offered to shoot, and that's very lucrative to a young artist. And what ended up happening is then Russell T went, "Oh my God, I've got to rewrite this whole ending."
And he rewrote it badly. But he rewrote it.
Exactly. And so they rewrote it.
And then we got Billy Piper.
We got Billy Piper, but we also got a fabulous scene between the 13th and the 15th Doctor.
Oh, that was great.
That was the best part about it.
Yeah.
And seeing Jodie up there as the Doctor again was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, giving Jodie a little respect.
Exactly. But we started seeing Disney distancing itself from Doctor Who. It was almost impossible.
Were they ever really there, though?
You saw for the...
I mean, they never really promoted it.
They promoted the anniversary special.
Yes, the David Tennant one. But once Shudi came aboard.
The Christmas special they promoted, and then the Space Babies. And then after that, it was almost impossible to find on Disney Plus to find Doctor Who. You would have to literally do a search. It wasn't across the bar on the top. And you have to realize BBC was only showing Doctor Who in the UK. Anywhere else in the world where you wanted to see new Doctor Who, you had to go through Disney Plus. And it was really bad.
Yeah.
And so
Well, and also they aren't releasing War Between the Land and the Sea, so,
Someday.
someday.
you know.
We
yeah.
still
I'm still
don't.
looking for
I
it.
mean, that's what they told Shooty, and that's why he left. You know,
Right.
someday.
Someday.
Well,
And so, yeah, does everyone know what the War Between the Land and the Sea is? It is a spin-off of Doctor Who featuring Unit. And they're going up against the Sea Devils.
it's a miniseries.
It's a mini-series. It was like, I think,
6 episodes?
6 episodes. And it's already shown in the UK. It showed in December.
Yeah, there's a documentary out now. I think
Yeah,
you can actually find that on
it.
YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it is, and so it's out. Disney has agreed to show it everywhere else around the world. They just, it is, as of this date, it is the 20th of February. We haven't seen it yet.
Not even an announcement.
Of anything. What's up?
I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but should have been ABC show Doctor Who because
Why ABC?
it's the American version of BBC, I think.
ABC is
Owned by Disney.
It's owned by Disney, and ABC is just a regular broadcast.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with the BBC.
Exactly.
I didn't need to just.
Disney had a partnership with BBC to infuse money into and to distribute Doctor Who around the world. And so now, well, like Mary said, we got Billie Piper at the end. But the interesting thing with Billie Piper at the end of it, she went, oh, hello,
Yeah, that was a head turner.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to make of that.
Yeah, but the credits did not announce her as the Doctor.
That's right, they didn't.
So who knows what's going on there? I assume we're going to find out
I
in the
can't see her
Christmas
as the
special.
Doctor. I'm sorry.
Because there is going to be a Christmas special.
That's definite.
It's-
Now, whether we get to see
Which
it,
doctor?
We don't know.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not like a.
We don't know. All we know is right now it is going to have Billie Piper in it, but
who knows?
who knows as
what
who?
she really
Is she going to be Bad Wolf? Is she going to be
The Moment.
Rose? Is she going to be the Moment?
Yeah, that's
You
because
know,
the moment is the only
doctor,
reason I
we
can
didn't
think
know.
of only know.
We don't know.
know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
She was really good at that.
And, so we don't know what is going to happen. We do know Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf is producing this, but we also don't know going forward who is.
Yeah, lots of rumors about Russell leaving
Yeah.
after the Christmas special.
Maybe maybe we might see Chris Eccleston back on the show one day then. Who knows?
Who knows? I kind of doubt it, but yeah.
But like he said, he got Russell Davies, and maybe I'll come back.
Yeah, he's been back and forth about his.
That's the last I've heard of it.
But he is having a blast doing the Doctor on Big Finish.
Yeah.
I don't know if
He
you...
said he wasn't going to do that, and he came back.
He did that, which is pretty amazing stuff. And he's actually doing stories now with Billie Piper as Rose. And
they're good too.
they're great. We
You should
reviewed one.
check them out if you're into audio
Yeah,
dramas.
we
They're pretty
reviewed the
good.
first 2 about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it's really awesome to listen to. And you wrote us about it.
Yeah, Big Finish is a little pricey though, so it's.
Yeah, wait for their sales. Their sales are amazing when they have them.
But it's nice. It's a real good audio drama. They do a great job. You get to hear your old friends again, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. What do you guys, want to see happen, with Doctor Who?
Do you want Billie Piper to be a doctor, or do you want to be like a whole new, like a reboot, basically?
I'd like a reboot to kind of go back to the classic Tom Baker type of Doctor Who, where he's not just always on Earth, he's out exploring. Just like a single person,
So you want to go into all these different quarries around England?
So we take it upscale a little bit.
Okay.
But I'd like to get back to the old traditional style. And,
Did you like the cliffhangers? Did you at the end of the stories, or do you like how in Modern Who you have just the full hour just for one story?
I would like to do it full hour one story kind of thing.
Okay, so like multiple parts and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were up entirely to me, as someone, whose preference is Matt Smith because Eleven is my doctor, since the precedent has been set, let's bring Matt Smith back.
Do
Yeah, he's pretty busy.
He is very
I think
busy.
he's
Yeah, hey, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, if it worked to me, if it worked to me.
Exactly. Well, if you think about it, though, you also have the 14th Doctor still out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
They can always bring Tennant back again, that's right.
Because, the BBC, Doctor Who's failing. Oh, bring back Tennant.
In case of emergency,
Don't do that.
leave it that says David Tennant.
Break the glass, Tennant walks out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but yeah, what about anyone else?
I guess they could break the model and instead of doing one doctor every 3 years, just bring back old doctors for mini-series, and that's the one shot here, one shot here.
Actually,
one shot
Russell
there.
has talked about that, doing spin-offs with different doctors.
Just at least until someone's willing to commit. But then
Right.
do you not have people want to go forward but always go back? Not that we wouldn't love to see these miniseries.
Oh, I would love to see further adventures on screen of the 8th Doctor. While Paul McGann.
Oh, God, I'd love it.
Yeah, more about what was in the books and not.
Well, they just announced yesterday, actually, that the 8th Doctor TV movie that they did for Fox is coming out in 4K.
Yeah, 4K is not going to help that.
Well, 4K doesn't help
I mean,
the
I
story.
love Paul McGann,
But it's interesting that you have, you're going to get that coming out. Maybe that might spark interest. The only problem is Fox owns the rights to the companions in that story, and that's why it was hard for getting it here in the United States on DVD. And
Yeah, the pre-order I saw, you can only get it off UK, Amazon UK.
Currently.
right.
Right, so,
That might
and there's
change.
no date there either, so
Yeah.
I've already tried.
What's up?
Did they ever look at Chris Marshall as a Doctor?
Oh, so many times.
Because I think he'd be a good, in the Tom Baker character.
Chris Marshall has been brought up a few times. You name it, any actor in the UK pretty much has been approached about playing the Doctor at one point or another.
Broadbent. Everything.
Exactly. And, you actually, it would be interesting to see, do you want to see them go back to the classic, hate to say it, white middle-aged or, doctor? Or do you like that you had a woman doctor or a doctor of color of some kind?
Yeah, I like that, because that opens up the door to, and this is a hot take of mine, but I'm gonna go say it again. I really do believe it's only a matter of time until we eventually see someone who's not from the UK playing the Doctor. American, Canadian, Australian, whatever. Because the thing is, unlike James Bond, the Doctor is not British. The Doctor is an alien.
I think you have a better chance to see somebody while the BBC is producing it, and owns it. I think you have a better chance of seeing a British or a Irish or Australian or Canadian actor playing the Doctor.
Yeah,
or
they're not going to.
They're not going to go with an American Doctor.
Now, that doesn't mean they might not do a spin-off,
Right.
but I don't think as the main Doctor.
Well, they did such a great spin-off with K9 in Australia.
Well, I think necessarily like it had to be an American. I think eventually it's going to be somebody outside of the UK.
Well, that's what they were trying to do with the McGann.
Yeah, they wanted Harrison Ford and Tom Hanks. I remember reading about that, and they both turned it down.
Right. You also had Tom Cruise. You also had Michael Jackson at one point, possibly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Different.
That would have been a choice.
So,
Doctor Who is a Scientologist.
What's that?
An idea? They should make one of the doctors a Dalek.
a Dalek.
That would be interesting.
It would, kind of like how the
Like
Doctor.
Clara was the Dalek
Exactly.
for a while, and
I think her name's Osgood.
Oswin.
Oswin, yes. Oswin. And so that would be interesting.
Like, any of the past sponsors should be a doctor because
A cyber doctor.
I mean, we've already got a cyber companion.
That's true.
Cyber Brig does not exist. We do not acknowledge Cyber Brig.
I almost dropped the series because of Cyber Brigadier. But it's interesting. So, did you guys, when you watch Doctor Who, do you think this is my show still? Or do you think you would want to see it reinvent itself, going back, maybe get rid of all the continuity and start fresh?
Well, they do that anyway.
I mean, it already plays so fast, things with continuity anyway.
Yeah, there is no real continuity. It changes every showrunner.
It depends on who the showrunner is, and depends.
They change their continuity more than DC Comics.
Yeah.
That's true, and that's there is no solid continuity, and I think they need to get rid of the whole timeless child thing.
Oh my God, I hate that.
didn't like that now. But, the Doctor's the continuity in the whole show.
Right.
So,
Everything has to revolve around them.
And Doctor Who is about change anyway. So
yeah,
they won't retcon it. They'll do like anything else they don't like, and they'll just ignore it. Like they may do something new later down the road, but they're not going to say this is to undo that. They're just going to say this.
They're just going to move on.
Yeah, exactly. But that's.
I mean, a showrunner's
we'll talk about it later. They'll just brush it off. Or like what was it in Flux, when the 13th Doctor had the fob watch that could have revealed everything about her past and everything. She dropped it into the center of the TARDIS. It was like, that could have opened everything, reinvented the show, put it into a new direction. Thanks, Chibnall.
Wow, how long did it take us to do that?
Only 25 minutes to start bashing Chibnall.
That's pretty good for us. Usually it's like 2 minutes in.
Everyone needs a good Chris Chibnall flushing every once in a while. But yeah, and there's so much possibility still with Doctor Who. I could see the show can go on and on and on, or do you think it should go on a break?
Well, it's on a break.
It is. But this break, if we're only going to be like 2 years between.
That's a break.
But compared to like in the Jodie era, or during the you had.
I remember the first.
So wait,
break.
are you advocating to go back to that?
To what? Every 2 years or something?
I mean, do you think that it's helps Doctor Who to have those long?
No, I want to see Doctor Who out every year.
Every year.
But do you think maybe I hate to say it, flush the bad out and bring brand new in and start fresh like they did with the Eccleston era and everything?
Yeah, I mean, the first break was like they were getting stale.
Right.
And then, we all thought that Doctor was dead. There was never going to be another show. And then boom, Eccleston came in.
That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. So do you guys want to see that? Or do you want to see just,
Because I don't think you can say Russell T was a reboot because he had such history with Doctor Who already.
No, he wasn't, but everyone was like, oh, Russell T's back, he's going to do wonderful, he's going to do great. And then you have to remember some of the stories during his era, like The Azorbo Lot or Fear Me, Chloe Weber.
And he had good episodes.
He did have great, even Chibnall had great episodes.
No, he didn't. He had better episodes than some of them.
I just want to say on the thing about default user, like everybody was so excited when they heard Russell T Davis was coming back. That reminds me of kind of a parallel that also involves our good friends at Disney. Actually, as a huge Power Rangers fan, I remember when someone brought the show back from Disney, and we were all, yes, the show is saved, the Bond is back, he's going to make new episodes. And then we actually saw the new episodes. And it kind of sounds like that's what's going on with Russell T Davis. It's like people went from hype to,
I mean, I do not think those last 2 seasons were bad seasons.
No.
I think we got some really good episodes.
We got some of the best episodes.
The finales were terrible. You can't write a finale to save his life. But there were some great episodes. Shooty was great. So I'm not going to say that Russell T coming back was a failure. But I am going to say that perhaps Russell T was caught up in being Russell T. And so I think it might help to, as you were pointing out, to just bring in some totally fresh blood, or at least somebody who is more, like Peter McTighe, who's got a history with the show as a writer, but is not as imaginative.
There's a huge rumor that he might be taking over as showrunner.
Really? He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I think they need somebody that's outside of that BBC circle of like Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat and Chris Chibnall. Like they're all in that same orbit. I think they should bring in somebody that's probably not been associated with it in the last 15 years, and then do something that's fresh, that doesn't have to be like a clear break from what they've had before, but make the Doctor more alien. Whoever they cast and whatever they look like, I think is far less important than like developing the character again in a way that plays better to what and who the Doctor is, as opposed to the person portraying.
Very well said.
I agree completely with what you said. They do need to make the Doctor more alien. They need to get away from all the companions falling in love with the Doctor. The Doctor's not human. He's supposed to be alien. And that's
Just a tiny bit of a power dynamic, going on there. A little bit uneven.
Right, exactly.
You're a 19-year-old girl. You're thousands of years old.
Millions now.
Whatever it is. I mean, I'm not arguing about age.
Asked to go on and they just turned him down.
Oh, Straczynski, that would have been perfect.
J. Michael Straczynski would be amazing.
He'd be fabulous.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it would take the show to a new direction. I think he could. I've seen and talked to him in the past at cons, and he is such a Whovian and everything, and he has a love for the show, so it's not like it's coming in somebody who has never watched the show before.
At least if he laid breadcrumbs in early episodes, he'd know how they were going to pay off, as opposed to the J.J. Abrams mystery box approach, which is we're going to put all these things out there, and we'll decide later if we pay or how we pay them.
I will say this about Russell T Davies, especially this time around. He laid the groundwork for so many storylines, and none of them have paid off.
Moffat was the worst about that. He would put all of these pieces on the board that you would have like maybe 5 or 6, and they're just fan theories, but you would have 5 or 6 fan theories that all seemed like they would make sense in some way or the other, and then he'd take a hard left that almost didn't have anything to do with what he'd been building up to for 5 or 6 episodes.
Some of that was like the stuff with the silence and the stuff that he was doing with River Song and stuff. He had to take, like you said, take a sharp turn because Matt Smith, after the 50th anniversary, decided he was leaving the show. And because he had another season all plotted out with River Song and with Matt's Doctor and with Clara and such being the most important girl in the universe, and everything.
I kind of wish that when they were in this weird thing where they didn't know if Clara was coming back or not, and then it really seemed like they were going to have Danny Pink be the new companion, I would have really liked that direction as opposed to, and Clara's still coming back.
Clara was supposed to leave at the Christmas special, the one with Santa. That was supposed to be her last episode. Halfway through the filming, Jenna decided that she didn't want to leave the show. So once again, Stephen had the perfect ending written for her. She was going to be gone. And he then was like, oh crap, you're staying.
That's the one thing I don't understand is why she had the power to change it. Was it because it seems like he would have more power? It's okay.
Sorry, you said you're going.
Was it because someone higher than him?
She was very popular and everything.
No, they asked her to stay.
They asked her to stay,
and I don't know whether they offered her more money or what the circumstances were, but they were trying to keep her.
Because she was getting...
So that was more the powers that be, not Moffat.
However, he got back at her, he sent her off into space.
Right.
We've never heard of her
The
again.
Space Diner with me.
But, Moffat
that was cool.
Have control over that. She had made it clear she was going, so he thought she was going, so he had written that out.
But Doctor Who had a major break when Jodie came on because people were screaming and hollering, oh, we can't have a female doctor. And then Judy came on, they even got more hysterical. So I don't know if that has
Doctor
something
Who
to
is
do
becoming Wake.
Well, I don't know if that has something to do with Disney or not, but I think they were I don't know if they just didn't go along with that. Even though they were both great.
I think Shooty was trying to play for a younger audience and trying to bring, more millennials.
Well,
and
Russell
Gen
said
Z.
that.
Yeah. He's trying to, get, and literally from the very first episode, The Church on Ruby Road, you see him in a disco, dancing, wearing a kilt, and you see him being a lot more free, a lot more open, a lot more, like a Gen Zer.
Maybe the audience is aging out like some of this.
Yes. I'll never age out.
What are you talking about?
No, I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. This gray is makeup. So it's, and it's part of the fun with Doctor Who, though, is that it reinvents itself. And probably the next Doctor, who knows what the next Doctor is going to be like. And that's part of the fun with it, is we can guess all we want, type thing. But we don't have a clue what's going to happen.
I kind of feel like I am the least certain I have ever been of what is going to come next.
It makes sense.
It's fair.
It is fair.
I mean, with everything, with the Doctor, with the showrunner, with who's going to own the rights, with how it's going to be distributed.
Because they don't even know who's going to be streaming it.
Right.
And there's no way right now, truthfully, other than some little backdoor ways that you could take to be anywhere outside of the UK to be able to watch new series Doctor Who.
What do the rights look like in the US right now? Because I know in the UK they managed to wrap, BBC kind of brought everything back into
Correct.
Sure.
There is no
So
distribution in the US.
They have, no, there is not.
It's all or it was at one point all split up, because you had like at one point certain episodes were on like AMC Plus, and then there are the ones that are on Disney,
Right.
and then there's some of the classic ones that are on YouTube.
Yeah, but BBC owns the rights. Those are only distribution
Yeah.
rights. They have the right to distribute those
Exactly.
certain episodes and certain categories.
You used to be able to watch all of the new series of Who. You also used to be able to watch the Torchwood and Serengeti Adventures and Class. All of those you were able to watch on HBO Max. It was all there until about a year ago.
Well, wasn't Flux on some? I remember like the Flux season wasn't on HBO Max.
They eventually got it.
Oh.
They did get it. And you had all the Christmas specials, and you then had, once Disney took over, HBO lost the rights to it, but
nobody else picked it up.
No one else picked it up. You could still watch everything from the 60th anniversary specials all the way to Shooty's Regeneration on Disney still.
Yeah.
But that's it. You could still watch classic series on Pluto TV, on also
Or on
on
BritBox.
BritBox
Yeah.
is a great place for it, or YouTube is also another place you can watch episodes.
I miss it when you used to be able to watch it on PBS. I have not really watched too much Doctor Who ever, like since Matt Smith left, and that has much to do with him leaving, as did that was when my PBS station stopped airing it.
Right. It's interesting, you watched the Matt Smith on PBS?
Yes.
Really? Really? Because for us it was BBC America that was showing
Or
it.
Netflix. It was on Netflix for a while, and
Yeah.
then it was on BBC America.
Yeah, it was on my PBS, like Series 5, and actually, I'm not even sure if I saw Series 6. Yeah, I did get the whole Matt Smith set for Christmas a couple of years ago, so I have to actually sit down and binge the whole thing.
Right.
He
Was
was my
Sci-Fi
favorite.
Channel still running it when
No.
Matt Smith?
No.
Or that was just David Tennant?
Just David Eccleston and Tennant was showing Siffy.
Siffy.
But it was funny, even when they did new episodes, you didn't get it on Siffy for probably a good 6 weeks at
It was
times.
also cut down by like 10 minutes.
They cut like 10 minutes out of the story for
For
commercials.
commercials, yeah.
And everything, which is ridiculous. But the cool thing with Doctor Who is what we need here in the States is like in the UK they have what they call the Whoniverse, and which is awesome. They do specials. They do for each episode they do a mini documentary with the making of the episodes and everything. And it would be great to be able to
Actually get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it sounds like what we need in the U.S. more than anything right now is one central place you can go to access
all of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
Yeah,
Completely.
we do. It is
We do.
The one since replaced me definitely need it because
Yeah.
HBO Max had it.
Yeah, for the
Past tense.
They don't have it anymore.
They don't
I
have
don't
it.
know if they still do though because
Well, we're also still finding out who's going to stream it. We're getting a Christmas special in December, but we don't know where it's going to stream.
We don't, yeah, there's no distribution.
Or even, might even stream in the US at this rate with the way things are going, who knows?
Have you filmed it yet, or are we just still waiting to hear about that too?
They haven't started filming yet. I know.
They have confirmed it.
They have confirmed it. It's written. Production is probably going to be starting, I think they said, March or April.
Have they told us who the doctor's going to be?
No.
We haven't heard
A lot up in
anything.
the air.
It is all up in the air, and that's part of the fun with this. Is it's a big guessing game. That's why the way I titled the panel was, what do you guys think?
Because we have no idea.
We don't have any idea. We just hear rumors, and we hear, characters we'd like to see back. The one thing I will say I loved with Shudi's era is how much they did bring Unit in. But, Unit being an Avengers Tower was a little silly for a top secret organization.
Well, they did a whole spin-off around Unit.
Yeah.
We just didn't get to see it.
We haven't seen it yet. There are ways to see it here in the States if you have like a VPN.
Yeah, there's always ways.
There is ways,
But it
but
would be nice for them to just release it.
and from what I'm hearing is Disney is not going to release it one episode at a time. They're just going to dump it and say, we're done with Doctor.
That's fine. Just dump it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And
You know.
everything. So
Is there anything in Disney's leftover distribution deal that would stop them from allowing the BBC just to have the Christmas special be available on the iPlayer? Because you can get the iPlayer for the universe, but you just can't watch any of it because it says it's not available in this country.
that's the question. That is the $1 million question. Disney's deal with the BBC for Doctor Who was for 2 seasons and a spin-off originally, and with negotiation they had the option for season 3 and 4.
Yeah, they don't have the rights to distribute the Christmas special.
At all.
They could negotiate them, but I don't think they're going to.
Why would they?
Yeah.
So they can bury it.
Yeah.
We may just end up with one streaming service in this country, depending on Paramount, Netflix, and the rest of it. Who knows?
There's rumor going around that Apple has talked to the BBC about Doctor Who. Amazon has talked to them about it. Then I've heard Paramount has. I don't want Paramount to touch it. But it's going to be interesting to see, where it ends up. And I'm hoping by summertime we'll have a better idea.
Yeah.
But,
We'll see.
with our luck, after tomorrow or Monday, since we're talking about it.
The second the panel's over,
They're going to
they'll announce
announce
something.
And they'll announce who the new doctor is too, which is always fun.
Are they looking for new production partners or just international distribution partners?
They're looking for new production partners. We also have to remember Sony is involved in this also.
So really? When?
Sony, before Disney got into it,
Yeah, Sony's been involved for a while.
Sony's been
Through all of
involved.
Shudi's seasons.
Sony has been a major investor in Doctor Who with Bad Wolf Studios.
Oh, okay.
And everything. If Russell T leaves, does that mean, Bad Wolf Studios is leaving too, and there goes.
Well, he works with Bad Wolf Studios, but he does not own Bad Wolf Studios.
So it'll be interesting to see if Bad Wolf will continue, because that's Julie Garner.
Because I think they
and,
still have a stake in it.
Yes.
We haven't had an Asian doctor yet.
I would love to see
Yes,
an
I'd like to see an Asian doctor.
I would love to see an Asian doctor or East Asian, I think.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool to see, different takes on the doctor. There's no reason why not and everything. I think it would be kind of cool. I would love to see a new actor though as the doctor. I don't want him going back to familiar faces. I would love to see
Do you
him.
think it should be a relatively unknown actor, sort of like Matt Smith was?
I thought it was fantastic. The only thing, even Tenet, the only thing I had seen him in before he started playing the Doctor. I saw him in Harry Potter. You know, he was.
He
was Barty Crouch Jr. With the tongue, you know, and everything.
And
So
he was in a miniseries called Casanova.
right, but I had not seen it at that time, so I had no clue who and I loved Tennant. I thought it was great. And that's the way it was in the old series, even. You know, I never had heard of Sylvester McCoy. I had never.
But Christopher Eccleston was more well known.
He was, because he had been in a few different films at that point, and he's also a huge stage actor. I had seen Capaldi in a ton of things.
Oh yeah.
And everything, and Jodie we had seen in Broadchurch.
With Ted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's interesting, but yeah, I would love to see an unknown actor come in. You know, and that's, you know, and then make a name being Doctor Who. And I would love to see a doctor be the actor play him for more than 3 seasons and everything. I don't say go for the 7 seasons like Tom did.
Or at least make it to 3 seasons.
Well, exactly. Well, it's sad because like Shudi's Doctor never even faced a Cyberman or a Dalek, you know, type thing. He's the first Doctor never to actually face the Daleks, which is interesting. And, you know, it's interesting when that happens, and because the Daleks are the arch foe, blah, 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 blah. So it's interesting stuff. Where would you guys like to see what's, you know, for a new Doctor? I'm putting this on you guys.
Pick a doctor.
Pick
Any doctor.
Pick some, you know.
If I had to choose, Hugh Lowry
from House or in many other things.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he would be.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think he's too well known though? No.
Who cares?
Who cares? Okay.
I think he's from England.
What's up?
I think if we did get, if he did become a Doctor, I think there's a chance that it might just be him, not so much the Doctor. There's a chance of star power.
Oh, overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like the idea of an unknown person.
I would like some
or less
mini
than that.
episodes, maybe not like a whole season, but with Richard E. Grant being the Schalke Doctor for a while, just to try to work it back in there a little bit.
That was one of the miniseries actually that Russell T was talking about, because that's why you saw his face in with the other regeneration and everything.
You know what's could be interesting on that front, and seeing as how, since you're on me saying this probably, but you know, since the Timeless Child, as we apparently learned, the Doctor's capacity for regeneration is, as far as I can tell, is apparently infinite, and they've had, you know, like apparently had many different past incarnations that even they don't know about. Maybe what they could do is, you know, have a bunch of different actors and then film a bunch of like little mini episodes or vignettes, you know, and kind of use with them as the Doctor's past incarnations that we haven't seen before, and kind of use that as a testing bed to try and test the reactions and say like, oh, we like this one, we can do a whole series around this one.
Or what about a whole season where you have some older companions come back searching for the Doctor, because the Doctor is missing.
Dr. Little Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and they're trying to find what happened to the Doctor. Why has he been gone for all this time?
In search of.
Yeah, the TARDIS is here, you know, sitting in the middle of London or something, but there's no Doctor anywhere around.
I'm a big Good Omens fan.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see Michael Sheen in there, and then he can work with Tennant. They'd do so well together.
Wishful thinking.
I know.
Wishful
It'd be
thinking.
great.
What's up?
Yeah, there's a guy on Slow Horses named Christopher Chung who plays a character named Roddy Ho.
We know.
He's a bodybuilder, and it would be interesting to see a young, super fit, muscular Doctor. You know,
that definitely break the mold.
He was actually in the last season of Doctor Who.
I heard that. I saw
And
that.
he was good, and he's great on Slow Horses.
Yeah.
And a total jackass. Sorry to say that. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody, but he's but he's a great actor, and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Somebody
everything.
young, fit, who, like the third Doctor, you know.
Oh, doing Venetian Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Action
Right.
packed.
And maybe the Doctor could show some more alien powers and be less human looking. I mean, I think that would be cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. McKenna Grace, she was great in the new Ghostbusters movies.
Right.
I think there doesn't need to be any more episodes that are super Doctor-like. Like whatever the new season is, it's Doctor Who. I don't want it to be about his companion or their companion. I want it to feature the Doctor.
Well, the first season with Shooty was fairly Doctor Light because he was still filming Sex Ed.
Yeah, he had other
obligations. But he was, that's why you saw more stories with him in the second season and everything. But, you know, like the episode with Ruby in, you know, the first season, and it was the Doctor was vanished.
Oh yeah, the fairy sword. That was actually that was one of my favorite episodes of that season.
That was an amazing story.
Yeah.
There were even a bunch of Clara episodes though with Capaldi where I felt like it was the Clara show featuring Capaldi's Doctor.
They were
I think that was a different thing though, because they were purposely making her character more like the Doctor.
Yeah, whatever form it comes back in, I want it to be focused on the Doctor.
The Doctor.
At least for a while.
Yeah, no, I agree completely with that. It should focus on the Doctor. You know, you had in the old series Doctor Light stories. The first Doctor stories, you had to do it because William Hartnell was ill because he was an old man. But like,
Or even that he was just on vacation because they shot year round.
They used to shoot. There were so many more stories each season and everything, and because each story was also anywhere from 3 to 10 episodes for one story and everything. So you had, you know, filming year round, and Doctor Who just wasn't 12 episodes like the new season, or lately 7 or 8, you know, so it was pretty interesting. Do you think there is a future for Doctor Who?
I'm not to monopolize the conversation.
You're not.
Okay.
You're being good.
Okay. But I kind of feel like there is a future, but I do want to, bring up the possibility that we might. And I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, or even should happen, or I want to happen. I think it's a possibility that it could happen. That we might be looking at the possibility of a show going on another quite extended hiatus, like it did, after the 7th Doctor.
Right.
And it was like years because the show ran. We're talking from like 63 to 87. Yeah, so it's like a good almost a 25, a good 25-year run.
Yeah.
And it's been almost that long since we started, with the modern incarnation. So
you're thinking maybe we should take another 20-year break?
I'm not saying I'm not necessarily saying that it should. I'm just saying that I think that based on history, it is a possibility.
Right.
Yeah, well, the BBC, they have not made a formal announcement. There have been executives on more than one occasion who have said they are committed to bringing Doctor Who back. So I don't think we're going to get that big. It is a cash cow for the BBC.
Yeah, the merchandising machine that started up in Tennant's era hasn't gone away, and so long as they can still move plastic and cardboard.
Yes and no. They've cut back majorly on marketing, like the toys and the T-shirts and all that. One of the good things I noticed with Doctor Who at the London Toy Fair is they've reestablished their connection with Funko. You're going to get brand new Doctor Who Funko Pops coming, and you're getting new other, like the 3.5-inch figures. You're getting new T-shirts. You're getting models and such, and that's promising because they're trying to drum up support again for Doctor Who from a marketing standpoint.
I'm hopeful because the beauty of Doctor Who could be almost anything you want.
Exactly.
It's ultimately changeable, so whatever happens, deal with that.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
And if
someone's got to love it, someone's got to hate it.
Well, exactly. And if they talk about it, we'll be talking about it on our podcast forever. We're stuck
until we die.
Exactly.
If you could pick someone to be a doctor, like any celebrity, who would you pick?
Oh.
Not a celebrity.
I wouldn't want somebody who is a minor celebrity right now.
An up-and-coming actor.
Somebody who could fully commit to the role.
Oh, Michael Sheen.
We already brought that one up. Michael Sheen would be amazing to be the doctor, and I think...
And he would rub it into Tenet. I am a Welsh doctor.
But still not ginger.
That's still not ginger.
Exactly.
And you can bring Tenet back too.
You can always lock Tenet back, apparently.
Break the glass, brain the tenant out.
Scooby said when Jody showed up, I thought it was going to be the other guy.
Right.
Exactly. So, awesome, guys. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. You can listen to our podcast wherever fine podcasts are found. We're called Earth Station Who. We would really appreciate it if you gave us a listen. Also, if you guys want us back next year, please go into the app, rate us.
Rate us 5.
5 stars. If you didn't like us, 5 sarcastic stars. Thank you. Enjoy Pensacon.
You've been listening to Earth Station Who, a pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from throughout space and time. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individuals and are to be used for entertainment value alone. You can subscribe to our show wherever fine podcasts are found, or check out our website, earthstationwho.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and if you enjoyed the show, please write to us at feedback@earthstationwho.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the next journey of Earth Station Who.
Tune in to the DragonCon Report podcast, your ultimate destination for all things DragonCon.
Join us each month as we dive into our home away from home and cover the world of con fandom, cosplay, gaming, and more.
With guests each show, behind-the-scenes insights, tips and tricks, and the latest updates on this year's convention.
Whether you're a seasoned attendee or a first-time explorer,
the DragonCon Report is your passport to the ultimate geek experience.
Join us and let your inner dragon roar.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.